everyone, it's Christina here from Our Wood Home. I'm going to take you along as I do some of my usual housework for the week. I haven't filmed everything for this video because it's just kind of difficult to do that, but I did try to get as much as I can. I prefer to break up all my housework into just a few tasks each day because that is easier for me. It's most efficient, and I don't feel as overwhelmed if I'm trying to do everything on just one day. So I will link in the description of this video a couple blog posts where I talk about my homemaking routine, but for this video I will kind of give you a little bit of an overview about what I'm doing. Some tasks like dishwashing are pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, I hope that you enjoy coming along with me for this video. My to-do list of goals for Monday is to do the ironing, which I didn't film in this video, dust the living room and dining room, clean the kitchen, clean the windows, sweep the living areas, and clean the upstairs bathroom. So right now I'm in my dining room just dusting the china cabinet, and I've moved into the living room and I'm just trying to dust all the flat surfaces there as well. I used to use a mixture of vinegar and oil as a dusting spray, but I had a hard time getting it to spray out of the bottle consistently, so I stopped doing that, and I'm wondering if any of you have any tips for a good all-natural dusting spray. I can't use anything with fragrance because it gives me a migraine. So currently I just use a damp cloth, which works okay, but not that well. And for my windows, I just use vinegar because, as you can see, my dog sits in the chair and watches me. When she was a puppy, she would follow me as I open each window and put her nose right against it, and I didn't want her to lick any of the window cleaner because that's not safe for anybody, and I didn't like breathing it in either, which is why I chose to go with just vinegar. And it works fine. Tuesday's tasks are to clean the railings. I'm not giving this in any particular order, but that's one of the tasks. I like to also clean the blinds and do the fridge vents, clean the door and window frames, sweep and clean out my sewing room. I also make the bed every day. I know that's not something everyone likes to do, but it's a good way for me to start my day and get me motivated to continue cleaning. These railings here are kind of the divider between the living room and the kitchen dining room, and they are a pain to clean. I usually just use a damp rag. Sometimes if they feel especially dirty, like right up by the wood stove, I'll use a little bit of soap. But I prefer to just use the water just to get the dust off. Included in my kitchen cleaning is doing the stove here. It's not a stainless steel stove, but I do have a stainless steel cleaner that somebody gave me, and I'm not really a fan of it. It cleans well and gets out any like water spots or smudges, but I'm interested in more of a natural cleaner, so if anyone can suggest one that would work, I'd be really interested to try that out. As I said, this isn't real stainless steel, it's just almost plated. I don't know, it's pretty soft. It's not very hard like steel is, but anyways, if you have a recommendation for a better cleaner, please let me know. When I'm washing the outside of the dishwasher and the fridge handles, I just use soapy water, just a rag with some dish soap. It works fine. One of the things that I dislike about this kitchen is how there's just so much wood everywhere. I mean, it's nice, but it gets very sticky almost. It's kind of like this weird residue that builds up if I don't clean the cabinets periodically. So I try to do that weekly. Sometimes it gets a little bit longer and I can really tell when I do go to clean them. Plus, the cabinets are older and this style has a lot of grooves in it, which is difficult to clean, but I'm not complaining. I like our kitchen overall. The door frames and window frames seem to be a place where a lot of dust gathers, so I try to clean that periodically as well. I tend to get a stuffy or itchy nose with a lot of dust buildup, so this is one of the ways to keep that under control. I didn't film all of it, but I did clean all the window and door frames just across the tops there and down the sides as well. And it's a pretty quick task, so it can be done periodically and it doesn't take up a lot of time. Next, I'm going to go in and clean my sewing room. I try to keep this tidy, but in all honesty, sometimes I just leave projects out without finishing them, or I come back to them and I work on them over the course of a few days, and it's just easier to leave it out on the table instead of putting it away every time. But I do try to clean up a little bit at the end of each day just so it's not a mess that's building up. This used to just be my closet space, but now only half of it is for my clothes and the rest is my knitting supplies and some fabric scraps. And then I've got my sewing table on one side and my computer on the other. On Wednesday, I didn't film very much, and I apologize for the quality of this footage. It seems kind of weird when I'm watching it back, almost like it's skipping around. Um, but my tasks for Wednesday are mending, cleaning the laundry room, sweeping the living room, which is a daily task, washing the dog crate, blankets, and food tray, and sweeping out the chicken coop, the entrance into the chicken coop. So all I filmed for this day was just my laundry pile, which is a task I try to do every day as well. I hadn't tackled it for a couple days, which is why it's so big. I also did film some mending projects, just sewing on some buttons and fixing holes in knit socks, which is a task I've only recently learned. If that's something that is interesting to you, I can definitely do a little tutorial on how I mend my wool socks. I'm sure that there's better tutorials out there, but if you're interested, I will gladly do one up and show you. Since discovering how to do that, I've managed to fix lots of my socks. I tend to be a very hard walker, so my socks wear out in the heels and kind of on the balls of my feet, where my feet are. That's hard to say. You know what I mean. They wear out in a couple places, so I had just been saving them, not really knowing what to do with them, but not wanting to get rid of them because I knit them. I like them. So I was very glad to have discovered this technique, and I'm currently actually wearing a pair of socks that I've darned right now. I'm supposed to be cleaning the bedroom today, and I'm wanting to film it, but it's kind of difficult to set up the iPad so that it's out of the way and that I'm able to get like a good shot of the whole room and everything that I'm doing. In the past, I've just moved the iPad around while I'm cleaning, but that just ends up taking a lot longer because I have to stop every couple minutes and reposition and everything. So I'm just going to try to put the iPad in one spot and film what I'm doing. I don't know how much you'll actually get to see, but I'll try to do voiceover and explain what I'm doing. I think what I'm doing here is pretty self-explanatory. Folding pajamas. I disappear for a while, but I do come back, I promise. But I try to dust all the flat surfaces in our room, the dresser, side tables, and our bed frame has flat edges, so I dust those because dust will build up there. I also try to shake out or wash the floor mats and sweep and vacuum. I didn't manage to film every single thing I did here, but you get the gist of it. As with every day, I start by making the bed. First thing in the morning, I will throw the blankets off towards the foot of the bed just to let it air out and kind of cool down, I guess, if that makes sense. And then once it's been aired out for a bit, I'll come back and straighten all the sheets and blankets. I've read that people say you shouldn't make your bed every day because it can be a breeding ground for bacteria because it's warm and damp, I guess. I don't know. But I find that airing out the sheets cools it down enough that you can still make your bed. And I think a clean, tidy bed is just more welcoming at the end of the day anyways. One of the tasks I have for Friday is to sweep by the back door here. This is the door that we go in and out of with our dog, and she brings in a lot of dirt and stuff, so I try to get that tidied up. I also started cleaning out the inside of our coat closet here, as well as the linen closet. So I try to just quickly tidy it up, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, and then I'll sweep it out because strangely, dust bunnies seem to accumulate in there, as you can see from that nice big dust pile. I think this is a really good habit for any closet that you may have in your house. We just don't have that many, so I only focus on these two. Another task I do on Fridays is cleaning the couch. I take off all the pillows and blankets, and I used to use our vacuum attachment that it was like a little brush to get rid of hair and fur and stuff, but I find it didn't work very well. So now I use this little, I don't know what you call it, it's like a defuzz tool for your clothes, I think. It's just got a plastic handle and then kind of a velvety, carpety feeling material that gathers up the hair and fur. So you just run that over the surface and it picks up anything that you don't want to be there. I find this is the most effective way of getting the extra dog fur off the couch. We do keep a blanket on there that Bet knows is her blanket and she can go and lay there. But of course, throughout the day, she ends up in different places on the couch, and you know, our clothes have dog fur and that kind of thing. So doing this doesn't take very much time, and it really does make a difference, as you can see from the growing dirt pile on the coffee table there. I also go across the very back, in between the edge of the railing, because my cat likes to sit there as well. So overall, I just try to get every possible area with this little brush. It's very handy, and I was really glad to find it at the fabric store, actually. Once I'm done with this process, I may vacuum the couch if I feel like the brush didn't do a good job, but honestly, I find that it works very well. I don't know if I ended up filming it, but I did take all the couch cushions off and vacuum underneath of them. And instead of putting the cushions back in the exact same spot, I rotated them, which is a trick that my mom taught me, just so that you don't end up with the two main cushions you sit on having big depressions in them or anything like that. I end up having to use this little lint tool on this orange ottoman, as well as the two brown chairs, just because the pets have made that their home. Bet usually just stays on that chair that she's in, but she will stretch across the ottoman sometimes, and it's really cute, but she sheds a lot, and it gets pretty furry. I didn't kick her out of the chair to clean it. I did that later once she had moved from there on her own accord. I'm taking you into my laundry room in the basement. It's actually a laundry room and bathroom combination. It's not fully finished, it's a work in progress, so please don't judge that. But I tried to come down here on a dedicated day and clean it up. Just, you know, take any laundry that's been hanging around, bring it upstairs, clean the sink and toilet, that kind of thing. I also clean off the washer and dryer because they get kind of dusty, and then I'll sweep down here as well. I tried to do this on Wednesdays, but I didn't get to it this particular week, so I figured I may as well do it on Friday because I had a little bit of time left over. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me for this little cleaning video. If you'd like to see this again, but maybe a longer video or more explanation of why I choose to do things on certain days, or really anything like that, please let me know in the comments. I certainly like making videos that are interesting and informative for me, but I'm not the one subscribing to my own channel and watching these videos, so I want to create content that you find enjoyable and informative as well. So please let me know if you have any other video suggestions. Let me know in the comments or through any of my social medias, which are linked in the description of this video. And if you're new here but you like what you see, I hope that you will consider sticking around and subscribing to my channel. Thanks again for watching.